What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast today. Well, tonight, we're discussing the TNT versus Ross game 1. At siguro kung tatanungin nyo kami ano yung initial comments namin was that kadiri yung
Yo,
laro na to. In terms of its defense first, sobrang
yeah,
baba ng percentages nila.
yeah,
Yung ganda ng unang laro ng Hinebra and SMB na halos lahat ng tira pumapasok. It's bagay sa larong Pilipino. Yung gusto nyo, yung fast-paced, di ba? Dito, kung mahilig kayo sa defense, ito yung laro para sa inyo.
yeah. I don't even know if it's defense because minsan may wide open shots, di lang talaga pumapasok. Look at this shit, dude. 34% for TNT. But wait, Ross shot 37. Putik. That's such a bad shooting.
Masama talaga shooting nila.
That's such bad
Both
shooting, dude.
teams.
And like, okay, yes, it has something to do with defense to a certain extent. Kasi the defense was good. Yung
Yeah.
ginawa ng TNT is, honestly, di nila pinayagan yung Ross tumakbo.
They didn't make them run, yes.
They,
Or, tingnan mo nga to Mario, TNT had more fast break points than Ross. In what world makikita mo yun? Usually it's
yeah,
Ross
exactly
outpacing
against Ross.
TNT.
Totoo.
Oh,
So like, Ross was unable to really run like as much as they want to do. And
agree.
yes, that has something to do with TNT's defense. But it was just an ugly game overall, if you ask me. For both teams. Aaron Fuller shot 7 for 90. Ew.
That never happens. That never
Yeah,
happens.
but
Considering he's
that
an
has
inside the paint player.
yeah, and that has to go with the fact that Boy Aram I think did a good job on
Yes.
Aaron Fuller. The thing that TNT did was, I mean, this is what was kind of cool. They made Ronde not defend the main guys of the team. Ronde defended the likes of Jonah Jarito or Santi Santillan, guys who like are not necessarily the stars yet of their team, who can produce so that who do tend to produce. So if they do decide to produce that day, Ronde is defending them. But he is allowed to roam, and that's what he was able to do. He had 5 steals, he had 4 blocks. Yun yung nagagawa niya. Aaron Fuller was blocked so many times. There was a sequence at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, or not, towards the start of the fourth quarter, where RHJ and Aaron both got blocks on Aaron Fuller and Keith Datu. Like the defense of TNT was good, and it was a bad shooting day for both teams, though. I think that's how it goes. Calvin of Tana, 4 for 17.
4 for 17.
Like what? The threes he was taking, I would argue that out of the 12, 8 were wide open, and he didn't hit the wide open ones. He hit the contested ones. I
Yung
don't
gusto
know.
ni Calvin. Gusto niya mas mahirap.
Yeah. I don't know, it just wasn't a great game, if you ask me. Reina, like in terms of the visual aspect of it, in terms of how close the game was, it in the third and fourth quarter, it actually was quite close. That's not the score
Well,
line
yung
does not.
third quarter, it was where TNT made their push. That was,
Yeah,
yun yung separation that they needed eh.
yeah, but then they were only leading by nine, by nine, tama. By
Yeah.
9 at the end of the third, and then in the fourth quarter, something kind of clicked. I think for TNT on defense, it was really good defense in the fourth.
15 points na yung both teams eh, no?
Yeah,
Kadiri,
yeah,
baba talaga.
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great. Oh, but shout out to Reina Batak. I think Reina Batak was the best player for out of the locals. Sorry, out of the locals, I think Reina Batak was the best player for TNT. He was providing offense in a time when they needed offense. He was defending decently, and he was actually creating pretty well for his team. He only had 2 assists, pero in terms of the impact of what he was able to do, it was pretty good. Aside from that,
Sweet revenge for Ray. I mean, game 1 pa lang.
our
Pero
game
syempre,
one,
masarap sa kalooban.
yeah.
Oh, di ba?
Pero di ka, ikaw, RHJ
Yes.
played 46 minutes. In a 7-game series against a team like Ross,
If you ask me, sustainable,
yeah.
Mario. For me,
Do you
sustainable.
think it's
RSJ
sustainable?
is used to that kind of, what do you call this, kind of workload. Remember when he played in the finals, he was in the middle of Ramadan, no
Yeah, yeah,
water during the game. So when I saw that, sabi ko, ano nang, walang makakapagod sa kanya. Like, his conditioning is at peak level.
yeah.
For Coach Chot knows how to use him. The PTs of TNT Tropang Giga know how to handle him. So I have no concerns. Maybe other imports, iisipin ko yan. Maybe if it was a local. Pero pag si RHJ, he is arguably 1A, 1B with Justin Brownlee,
Yes.
or even with a slight edge to Justin Brownlee, if you ask me, with regards to his two-way
Maybe.
impact right now in the PBA. So, I expect nothing less. And ito, Mario, ito yung mga laro na gusto ni RHJ. Remember, RHJ was an NBA defensive type of guy. If you're
Yeah.
gonna put a player to hold him down to like 25 points below, di ba sabi niya, I'm
No.
used to guarding guys like LeBron James. Nothing
Yeah.
scares me. I remember that
Yeah.
quote from RHJ. Ever since I got to the PBA, sabi ko, this guy's a dog. This guy's gonna be a
Yeah.
mainstay in the PBA.
But I agree. I agree. Na in
Oo.
the last time we saw RSJ, he did have to play a lot of minutes for the for the TNT team which won the championship. But I think it isn't sustainable. I
You
personally
think
think
it's not? Okay,
yeah.
sige.
I personally because the workload is a lot different for RHJ this time.
Mhm.
I think it's a lot different. He's asked to defend the best player on the other team for most of the game, or at the very least, roam around for most of the game. And second to that, he is their main option on offense.
Siya rin.
Like he is creating these shots. Okay,
25 attempts.
yeah, like he's creating these shots for the Pogoy shots, the Oftana shots, and the Kobuntin shots, even the Eram shots. Most of those came from Ronde Hollis Jefferson passes. So I think it isn't sustainable. I think that's how TNT could lose this series is if napagod si RHJ. I understand the NBA talent siya, and we've seen him do it before. Pero
He's
iba
only
yung workload.
29. He's really at the peak. He's only
Yeah,
29
he's in
as
his peak.
well.
Yes, but I think it's the workload difference this year. I think that's why it could become a
Wala
bit
nang
tough
Mikey
for this team.
Williams.
Yeah,
Tama.
wala ng Mikey Williams. And another thing for TNT is hopefully you can get Kelly Williams back, diba? Calf injury. I think it was a calf injury.
Medyo tricky ang
Uh,
mga calf injuries eh. Hindi
yeah,
mo mag-gauge until the next day or it could flare up any moment, 'di ba? Just
yeah.
going for a rebound, hindi mo alam
But
biglang mag-flare up
yeah,
yung. And matanda na kasi si Kelly eh. Hindi na siya parang 30 or 29 eh. 'Di ba?
yeah,
It's
but
tricky na talaga about injury eh.
the thing is, like, Kelly Williams was one of your main defenders against Aaron Fuller.
Yeah,
Yan
that's
yung
what he
alam
did.
ko. So that's a big loss if you're TNT. But shout out to Henry Galinato. This is
Yo
he
boy.
was this is my boy Henry Galinato, my UP boy. Like this guy stepped into the minutes he was asked to play. He was defending Aaron Fuller to a very good extent, if you ask me. And Keith Datu also. He was defending very well. So I think if you're TNT, you would want Kelly Williams to come back. Pero Henry Galinato is a pretty good backup instead of Kelly Williams.
I think kung magpapakilala si Henry Galinato and find some consistent minutes for the future, this is the series to prove it.
Yeah.
Ito na yung chance ni Henry Galinato. Consider he has the body. Some people are even calling him Ali Peak in terms of just his physique and just his physique.
Yeah.
It's a long way before he brings the production to a close one Ali Peak, a PBA Hall of Famer. But dito siya matetest. This could be his chance to finally have some consistent minutes with TNT. Anything else here, Mario? No, napansin ko na TNT got out-rebounded 66-54, but they have 97 shots compared to just the 81 of Ross. So parang, okay, mas marami pa rin silang
That's
shot
weird.
attempts, di ba?
That's a little
Parang
weird. Not
usually the team that gets the more rebounds gets the more shot attempts. Pero
Yeah.
dito, they have 12 less rebounds. Pero they have 16 more attempts than Ross. 97 for TNT, 81 for
That's a little weird.
Ross. So, weird yung laro na to, guys.
Yeah.
Siya, nung pinapanood namin, sabi ko, weird ang pacing, no? Parang
Yeah.
Ross, naninibago yung Ross. Naglalaro sila sa pace ng TNT. So
A bit.
but this is game 1. The game 1 pa
Yeah.
lang to, kaya parang, ito yung feel ko kaya mag 7 games talaga. Ramdam mo na kaya
I
mag
see it.
7.
I see it. Because let's be real. This game was still in the balance until RHJ hit that 4-pointer. It was only a 7-point game, and RHJ hits a 4-pointer with a minute played.
Backbreaker eh, no?
Backbreaker yun. All of a sudden, instead of being down 7, you're down 11. And it could have been a turnover in that play. So that was a back-breaking play if you're Ross. At the same time, if you're Ross, I think this could be wrong, but then this is how I see it. You may be forcing the ball a bit too much into Aaron Fuller. I understand.
I agree. Hindi siya hindi siya pang focal point eh.
Exactly. In the MAG series, you can run shit through Aaron Fuller because MAG doesn't have that many bigs.
Sanggalang
Sanggalang and Abueva.
Lapot didn't get to play much.
who are considered quite small. James Laput didn't play, and Xavier was out for the last 2 games,
Yeah.
right? So if you, that's why you could feed the ball into Aaron Fuller a lot. But then against a team like TNT, hindi niya magagawa yun if you ask me. Poy Aram is a really long defender. Henry Galinato has the body. And again, you have RHJ who is so good defensively na kaya niyang tapatan yun. Gets hindi siya Jabari Bird na offensive talent. He's strong on defense. That's what RHJ is. So I think if you're Ross, if you want a chance to win this series, first of all, you need to get Andre Karakut going. That's a big part of it. Andre Karakut cannot have 1 point. Okay, that's a big part of it. He's a big part of their team. And number two, Jonathan Clarito can not only take
Can't have
seven
6 points
shots.
only. Hindi pwede yan. Hindi
Yeah,
rin pwede na 4 points lang si Santi. Hindi rin pwede.
yeah.
Di ba?
Locals yung kailangan magdala in this one for
It's not gonna be Fuller. It's not gonna be
yeah,
Fuller.
this time it won't be Fuller. I think it won't be Fuller this time for Ross. It will have to be one of the locals. And one of those locals I think could be Felix Lemetti. I think it could be Felix. Felix gave a good 18 minutes kanina, was hitting some nice shots.
Agree.
So you need to look towards your locals if you're Ross. Kasi Aaron Fuller will not have the same advantages he had in this series as he did in the last one. Coach Yang, I'm sure, knows this, and this is a good coaching matchup if you ask me. Coach Yang adjusts very well, and Coach Chot can to a certain extent also adjust based on what he sees. It will be a good coaching matchup. I expect Ross to come back really well. In game two, I expect them to win game two. Not gonna lie. But this was a good game. This was a decent game at the very least.
Dito mo naramdaman yung loss din ni Kaylan Chongson. Kaylan Chongson is dealing with
Yeah,
an injury.
yeah.
He could have been an extra body to throw at RHJ. He's
Mm-hmm.
heftier than RHJ. Could have made life a bit harder.
Yeah.
And could have
Very
played a
good
factor.
defender.
Very good defender. So, hopefully makabalik si
Yeah,
Kaylan Chongson just to add more spice to this matchup, just to add more wrinkles or
yeah,
problems to bring to TNT kasi syempre gusto natin patagalin to 7 games. I mean, just every series naman gusto ko patagalin to 7 games. Because the more games you have, is better. It's just may
yeah,
maabangan tayo para panoorin.
yeah. But I doubt this goes 7. I don't think this goes 7.
You feel like it goes 5-6 as of now?
I
Like
think
just
it
overreactions to game
goes
1.
overreactions to game 1. I think this goes 6, or
Okay.
maybe even 5, just because you lost the bad Calvin of Tana game.
Talo kayo by
Lost.
9
Yeah,
with the 4 for 17 Calvin of
yeah.
Tana game. What more
They,
kung nag-equalize yan?
exactly. This is the bad of Tana game. You know how rarely you get bad of Tana games?
Once
Not a
every
lot.
20 games.
Not a
Once
lot,
every 30
guys.
games.
You don't get bad of Tana games a lot. Again, you need the locals from Ross to step up. Aaron Fuller will not have the same thing this time. That's why if Ross is able to get more help for Aaron Fuller aside from Gian Mamuya, it will be good. They really need Karakut. I really think they need Karakut.
Yeah, Karakot needs to be unleashed here if they want to, like si Asistio nga though, who tried to help out, but of course Anton Asistio is more of a complementary player than a player that actually, swings the tide for rain or shine. So, predictions for game 2, just a quick one. Actually, Mario, dagdag ko lang dito before we end this podcast, no? TNT had more fast break points than Ross. 26 to
Yeah,
21. So,
yeah,
mas maraming fast break points at TNT than Ross. So, di ba? Mga ano
yeah.
lang din.
It's a little weird. Not sorry, my computer then. It's a little weird, but then like again, it looked like TNT was a bit more prepared for this one. Again, I think this has to go with the fact that the other team did nobody we realized this. The team that won today were the teams that had more rest. TNT only had to play 4 games against NLEX. Ross had to play 5 against Magnolia. SMB had to play 5 against Converge. Ginebra had to play 3. These teams looked a bit tired. Ross and SMB looked tired. So maybe in this oncoming Friday games, it'll look a bit better.
Yes, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully we get to see better offense para yun, mga fans na mahilig sa offense, no?
Yeah.
Anything else here? That's pretty much na so far TNT looks like they're more equipped team to make it to
Right
the
now.
finals. Again, yun yung maganda sa overreactions to game 1.
Yeah.
Kayo, comment kayo, ano sa tingin nyo mangyayari sa series. You can predict whatever, ano bang nakita nyo sa ano dito,
Yeah.
nakita nyo sa laro na to. Let us know if we missed something. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. On Spotify,
I'm
follow, 5-star rating. On
I'm sure.
YouTube, follow, comment. No. On YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. This is
I'm
Nico
sure.
with Mario. See you guys on Friday for the next episodes.
I'm
Peace!
sure.